students, in this video we will be discussing a concept of English which is gerunds. Now gerunds, as we all know, are defined as verbs which end with ing. Now verbs are basically divided into two types. First, they are defined as finites, and second, they are defined as non-finites. So we can say that verbs are divided into two types, finites and non-finites. Finites are defined as all those verbs which contain a subject, they contain a person and a time at which an event occurs. But non-finites, they are considered to be verbs, but those verbs do not contain any subject, neither they contain any time or a person. And finites are further categorized into three types. First type is defined as participles. Second type is defined as infinitives. And the third type is gerunds. And this is what we are going to understand today. The types of non-finites like participles and infinitives are also explained in the other videos. So you can visit those videos in order to get a brief or detailed information about participles and infinitives. Today in this video, we will be covering gerunds. Those gerunds which follow need. Which follow need means that in a sentence, the gerunds are like need plus gerund. Now, gerunds are defined as all those verbs which end with ing. Gerunds are verbs ending with ing. Example of such gerunds can be swimming, eating, purchasing, playing, enjoying. So every word which ends with ing, swim, eat, enjoy, purchase, play, all these are examples of verbs. Now these verbs, when they end with ing, you can see that in each of these I have ended my verb with ing, and if the verbs are ending with ing, they are categorized as gerunds. These are verbs, but then the verbs get a special name, and that name is gerund. Today we are going to understand how we make use of gerund along with need. Now whenever there comes the word need, means that need is basically a requirement, right? Need is requirement or something which is very essential or necessary, right? These are the meanings of need. Now with need, how do we make use of gerunds? This is one question which we are going to get the answer in this video. So now let us take a look at some of the sentences in which we follow the pattern of need plus my gerund, and gerunds, as I have said, it is verb plus ing. So all those sentences which contain need along with gerund, like for example, I say my hair needs cutting, or I can say my hair need cutting, because here I am talking about a plural hair. So with plural I make use of a singular verb. So need cutting, this is my gerund. Why? Because cut plus ing makes it cutting, right? My hair need cutting. This is one of the examples of the gerunds that we are talking about. Second example can be the gardener hasn't watered the plants since long it needs, or I can say they need watering. Now here my hair needs cutting. Here cutting is a gerund, but when I say my hair needs to be cut, whenever I'm using to be along with a verb, then this is regarded as infinitive. So this is the difference between an infinitive and a gerund. My hair needs cutting, that is a gerund, but when I say to be cut, then it is regarded as infinitive. Similarly, here the gardener hasn't watered the plants since long. They need watering. Here watering is considered to be a gerund. But when I say they need to be watered, then to be watered is referred to infinitive. So that is the difference between a gerund and an infinitive. With infinitive, or I can say any verb is considered to be infinitive when it is preceded by to, but when my verb ends with ing, then it is regarded as gerund. So now this is a basic question, that in what all cases do we make use of need along with gerund, and there are also chances that with need we make use of infinitives. So that needs to be very clear. In most of the cases, we make use of need along with an infinitive. These are some of the cases in which need is followed by a gerund. So, in this video, we have understood the concept of gerunds, and then we've discussed the usage of gerund with the word need. Need can be used along with gerund as well as infinitive. That depends upon the formation and the structure of the sentence. The difference between the two will be more clear when you practice more, when you understand more about the concept, and we will understand better only when we practice more and more. So my suggestion to you is to keep learning and keep practicing.